لله وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. صلوا عليه. So inshallah, less than 45 days and we will be receiving a special guest. أقل من 45 يوم ونستقبل ضيف عزيز. ما هو أو من هو? Who is this? شهر رمضان إن شاء الله. سبحان الله الأيام تمر. Time flies. Subhanallah. It was just like as if it's a couple of months ago. So alhamdulillah, a few weeks inshallah, we will be, we still have something left from Abwab al-Salah, the rest of the rulings on prayers, but we will jump quickly to as-Sawm. We can come back inshallah to Salah after Ramadan inshallah. So we will be talking about fasting and the rulings of fasting every Wednesday inshallah. Starting tonight. Kitab al-Sawm, the book of fasting. As-Sawm lughatan al-imsak. Linguistically, to say sawma, somebody to fast, is to hold on, or is to withhold or abstain, as a better word. To abstain from something. قالت إني نذرت للرحمن صوما. ما هو هذا الصوم؟ فلن أكلم اليوم إنسيا. Sayyidah Maryam, she said, as Allah said in the Quran, she said, I vowed to the beneficent to make sawm. That's Maryam alayhi salam saying, I will make sawm. It's for Allah on me to fast. What was the kind of fast she did, Maryam? I am not going to talk to any human today. So to abstain from anything, you're sa'im, you're fasting. صيام الإمساك. صيام عن الأكل أو عن الكلام. So it's to abstain from something. That's generally. In Islam, it has a specific meaning. So Arab, before Islam, they knew this verb, صام يصوم صيام صوما. The meaning was just to abstain from anything whatsoever. In Shara or in Islam, Islamic Sharia, it means al-imsaku عن المفطرات is to abstain from the breakers of fasting. Anything that breaks fasting. That's it? Is that it? What can we add to that? Abstaining from the breakers of fasting, like eating, drinking, having the relationship, the intimate relationship. From what time to what time? From Fajr to Maghrib. From sunrise, right? To sunset, right? From sunrise to sunset, right? Right or wrong? No, wrong. Wrong. Not from sunrise. I know some people who start from sunrise. I know some very few people who I have met some people thinking it's from sunrise. It's from Fajr. Fajr is not sunrise. Fajr is way before sunrise, more than an hour before sunrise. From Fajr, the dawn in Islam, the Islamic dawn, until sunset. That's it. With an intention, with a special intention. يعني لو واحد نام من الفجر إلى المغرب. If somebody sleeps all the way from the night or from Fajr all the way to Maghrib, he didn't have intention to fast, but he abstained from anything to break fasting. He didn't eat, he didn't drink, he didn't have anything to break fasting. Would this count as fasting? Does it count? يحسب له الصيام? You have to have the niyyah, special niyyah for this fasting. I am doing that with the niyyah. That is the definition of it. التعريف الإمساك عن المفطرات من الفجر إلى المغرب بنية مخصوصة أو من طلوع الفجر إلى غروب الشمس بنية. So to abstain from anything to break fasting from Fajr to Maghrib with a specific intention. This specific intention is what's going to make your action or your abstaining special from anything else. So it has to be so. حكمه. What is the hukm? What is the ruling of fasting of Ramadan? Fasting of Ramadan is فرض, obligatory, فرض على جميع المسلمين, واجب على المسلمين, بل معلوم من الدين بالضرورة, بل أحد أركان الإسلام, one of the pillars of Islam. طيب, talking about the month, بما يثبت الشهر. How do we know the month of Ramadan begins? How do we know that the month of Ramadan starts?
If we see the hilal.
Either one of two things. Now, let's assume it is the 29th of Sha'ban. The 29th, today, presumably is the 29th of Sha'ban. Tomorrow could be the 30th Or that could be it, because the Arabic or the lunar month could be what? Could be either 29 days or 30 days. It can never be 28 days. It can never be 31 days. It's either 29 or 30. So at the day 29, tomorrow could be one more day left in Sha'ban, or it could be it. How do we know? We go to see the moon, sighting of the moon, after Maghrib. The sighting happens after sunset. Usually it's the few minutes after sunset. بضع دقائق بعد غروب الشمس. In the side where it sits. الهلال يرى في جانب الغروب الغرب. It is to be seen in the west, not the east. Usually around where the sun sets, 5 degrees somewhere there. So it is to be sighted. If it is sighted, that means tomorrow is the beginning of Ramadan. لو غم علينا, if we can't see it, if it's clear and we don't see it, or if it's overcast, then automatically the default is tomorrow is Sha'ban. Tomorrow is the next day, is the 30th of Sha'ban, and automatically the next day or the day after is going to be the beginning of Ramadan. Now we have the calculations, and some scholars adopted calculations in place of sighting, but that is the original way of doing it. طيب, شروط وجوب الصيام. For siyam to be obligatory on somebody, what are the conditions for fasting to be obligatory? ليجب الصيام ينبغي أن تكون هناك 4 شروط. We have to have 4 conditions for fasting to be obligatory. 1, Islam. If somebody is not Muslim, kafir asli, he never accepted Islam before, is fasting obligatory on him in Ramadan? There will be questions about all the actions of Islam and about accepting Islam itself in the hereafter. بدليل قالوا لم نكن من المصلين ولم نكن نطعم المسكين. When Allah asked them, they would say, oh, what brought you to Jahannam? They would say, oh, because we did not pray. So there will be question about prayers, there will be question. But here in dunya, if somebody comes and accepts Islam, do we tell him, oh, Ramadan was obligatory on you last year and the year before? No. Islam يجب ما قبله. So you have to be Muslim for Siyam to be fard on you. What is some cases for al-murtad? The murtad is somebody who accepted Islam and then he abandoned Islam. He apostated from Islam. Al-murtad, he cannot fast while being in that state, but if he comes back to Islam, then he has to make all of these missed Ramadans or days. Because the minute somebody accepts Islam, all the rules of Islam apply to him, even if he leaves Islam later on. So that's condition number 1 for fasting to be obligatory. Al-Islam. Number 2, Al-Bulugh. The person should be an adult. For it to be obligatory, for fasting to be obligatory, from the time of the person is adult, you reach the age of puberty, obligatory on you. What if somebody before that age, sabi, young child will come into 2 categories, mumayyiz or غير mumayyiz. Mumayyiz is somebody he knows how to do things, and somebody who doesn't really differentiate. The scholars put some conditions for مميز. قالوا الذي يعرف يمينه من شماله الذي يستعمل الحمام لوحده the one who knows his right from his left, the one who can use the restroom by himself, the one who he can handle things. That is مميز. The one who is not مميز, no, he doesn't know that. Usually around the age of 7, you have to start training your child. Like you train him for salah, for wudu. You also train them. يؤمر الصبي عند سن السبع سنين, 7 years old, you start training your child. And then from the age of 10, you start holding them accountable and even disciplining them if they miss that. And that all goes with their physical capability and so on. ولو صام الصبي المميز يثاب عليه. If somebody 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, he's not adult yet, and he fasts, they will get reward from Allah. It's not obligatory on them, but they will get reward. Some scholars even argue that their parents will get reward. Those who are training them, they will get reward as well. Number 3 for Islam to be obligatory, al-aql. Al-aql. You should be in a full mental capacity. Somebody is majnoon, there's no obligation on that person. Number 4, al-qudra ala al-sawm hissan wa shar'an. You should be capable and able to fast in both capacities. 1, physically. 2, shar'i. Islamically and physically, you should be able to fast. What do you mean? Al-Qudra al-Hissiyya, the physical Qudra, is that you should be able to make it. Like if somebody is too sick, cannot fast, then it's not obligatory on them to fast on that day. What if somebody is too old? They are not sick, but too old. It's so difficult for them to fast. It's not obligatory on them. لا يجب عليهم الصيام. If القدرة مثلا الشرعية, the other capability which is shari, those are people who are capable to fast, but they cannot fast, like women during hayd and nifas, during the period, the menses, or after birth, bleeding, even though they can fast, but they can physically fast, but they cannot shari fast, because, and even if they fast, لا يقبل منهم الصيام. It's not accepted, it's not right to fast, because you cannot fast in this case. Also, people who have exceptions are somebody who's traveling. They may be capable of fasting, but Allah give them rukhsa. The pregnant woman, the breastfeeding woman, they may be able to fast, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gave them conditions or rukhsa in all of these cases. And each one of them will have a special what to do in this case, that we're going to talk about this later. What to do in the case if somebody's traveling, or too old, or too sick, or a woman during menses, or all of these. We will talk about the details of all of that later, inshallah. Any questions so far about what we discussed?
I have a question.
No.
Regarding Friday Jumu'ah, are we taking any precautions as far as the coronavirus that you know?
طيب, if nobody has any question regarding fasting, inshallah. جزاكم الله خير وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه. We can turn this off. No, it's okay.